यो यो
यो यो यो
व्हाट्सअप क्या चल रहा है?
बढ़िया कुछ नहीं, बस हम पॉडकास्ट ब्रो बन गए अब तो और कुछ करने का टाइम नहीं होता है।
हाँ यार, रिसर्च आई डिड नॉट रियलाइज इतना टाइम लगेगा. इट विल टेक
Dude,
सो मच
we've
टाइम.
been, yeah, but this is like our fourth hour of recording this week.
Oh yeah,
So
because
yeah,
we recorded 3 hours for the
for
Indus
the
Valley report.
so it's been a busy week,
Busy
so to
week.
so to say. But do you want to tell everyone about the agenda, or should we just jump into the first topic? But
E-
yeah, what do we usually do? We do talk with
we just go directly into it, na?
Okay. So I don't know if you've saw like these op-eds and tweets, but I initially kind of came across this from a tweet from Kushal, who runs a micro VC fund called All In, where he had tweeted about Harsh Goenka from the, I think, RSPG group, talking about how wealthy Gen Z, next generation kids of business families no longer want to build businesses anymore, and they just want to run family offices and go party in Dubai and kind of take the easy way out. And it's kind of cool to be an angel investor in a VC these days. So the kids these days apparently don't want to build businesses, and they just want to invest. And then Uday Kota kind of had the same comment, I think, like earlier this week, where he was like, the next generation is kind of taking it the easy way out, and they're not really building, and they're just chilling and investing and relying on passive income instead of like kind of building from the ground up or like spending time in real businesses. What do you think that's happening, or do you think it's kind of like a little overblown?
I think it's a very rich people problem. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it did not even occur to me that this is a problem. To be honest, like like they're crying that they made too much money, that their kids are not working anymore. I can see it to become a problem. I mean, it can become a problem
Yeah.
one day, but this is something that obviously I don't relate to.
Yeah.
But
No,
what,
I
what
mean, I can't relate to it either, but it's kind of a little weird where like you obviously want to build your, like, you honestly want to do well for yourself so your kids have a easier time and they can like they don't have to grind as much as you unless they really want to. I assume like the kids will eventually kind of figure it out and do shit they really want to do, but like I guess not everyone has the dog in them to like really build a business as well. So I think it's like it's a bit unfair to be like, oh, like you have to like grind and struggle just like me just because you come from this family, and taking the easy way is not allowed, etc., etc. So
what do you think of them claiming that VC is the easy way out?
well, okay, if I think in the context of the post, if you are managing your family's family office and you call yourself a VC, it is like, I'm not gonna deny and say that that's harder than kind of setting out to go build a business, because with venture you have to both raise capital to invest in companies and then find companies to invest in. If you're already running your family's office and like managing their investments, you have access to capital. It's not like that is a concern. And just by being like an internet persona these days, you can get access to companies. So, I mean, I don't know if it's the easy way out to being a good VC is for these folks, but you can be a VC, so to speak.
Yeah, I think
And
any field that you choose, if you want to be like a good
yeah,
something about it, like you have
yeah,
to have to put in the effort.
yeah.
So I mean, if they end up being like the best run family office ever, I mean,
Then
kudos to
yeah,
them.
yeah. But honestly, like I found so like Harsh, like in his op-ed, he had this like whole post like, oh, like all these guys have Elon Musk as their guru, and Elon Musk didn't inherit wealth. And it's funny because Elon's dad was a very rich individual in South Africa, and Elon like has the dog in him, and he grinded, and he's like the richest billionaire, but he still like had like an advantage starting off. It's not like he started from like the roads and was like dirt poor and like was born into poverty.
I mean, being self-made is anyway like a completely self-made person is a myth. Like
Ah,
everyone has had something
yeah,
from someone somewhere, right?
yeah, yeah.
So you will always find somebody with lesser privilege doing something. You'll always find somebody with higher
Doing good.
privilege also doing good things. So I think that what you said, the dog in them,
Yeah.
the dog in them is
Well,
probably
that's a line stolen from Kushal, so I have to give him
okay.
credit from his tweet.
Okay.
Uh,
So yeah, I think having that dog in you doesn't really. It's not dependent on your privilege or your status, I guess.
yeah, yeah, but it is kind of the only way you can get like massively successful in doing what you want to do.
Isn't being having that dog in you is just basically another way of saying high agency?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
By the way, high agency is like the word of the
Indeed,
year
it is the word of Q1 2025.
in 2025. I mean,
Everyone is a Timothy Chalamet fan now.
that's high. Oh, so the way I think of high agency is basically the de- the delta between your thought and your action is
Yeah,
low,
yeah. I mean, you say what you do, and you actually like pull it off.
and you pull it
Yeah,
off
yeah. So
essentially.
you do what you say. You actually do what you say because most people say a lot of shit and don't follow through.
Yeah, it's
And high agency people,
unlike hip hop rappers.
well, hip hop rappers are low agency.
No, they just say right. They don't do.
What are you talking about? They
All of
always do. I think VCs are low agency. That's my
VCs are what?
argument. Low agency.
Uh, depends. I found I've met people in you can say VC who you I would say that they've taken like they've turned the knob up to like 120%. Like for example, a friend of mine was trying to raise money, and this for the lack of a better term, venture capitalist wanted to invest in his company, and like that person essentially flew down to his hometown, like the my friend's hometown, stood outside of his like house with like balloons and stuff, and then the balloons were spelling out the company name, and you know
No, yeah, like when you want to do a deal and it's something you are absolutely convinced in,
correct.
you will be high agency. Like I heard of an employee at a fund who literally flew down with the founder to spend more time with them so that they could run an IC process in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
who jumped like they're just like, oh, you're going from this city to this city, I'm gonna be on the seat next to you on a flight. Let's go.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, like they have the dog in them.
When you want to do a deal.
Yeah, when you want to,
Hmm.
or maybe so when you've decided that you want to do the deal.
Yeah, when you have conviction or you know that this is something that you want to spend time on at the fund and it might be a big home run for your fund or like one of the 12, 13 deals you want to do this year, then you switch and jump into high agency mode.
Okay, so agency, I guess that should be available on tap as well, like with intelligence.
No, I don't think so. I think we need to leave something for humans. How do we differentiate ourselves then?
Something will come up, man.
I mean, if like all we have left is like agency and taste.
Taste is, I guess, so GPT 4.5 launched yesterday. I think it can probably answer for your taste as well.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
But yeah, I think taste is something that you develop with experience anyway. So the another thing that I saw this week was levels.io, levels.io.
Yes, yes, Mr. Bootstrapped businesses and hundreds of companies he's built and businesses he's built. That guy.
Yeah, Peter Levels is his name. He goes
Yes.
to Levels.io as a Twitter handle. So he used cursor to
Okay.
vibe, vibe code.
I think we need to tell people what vibe code means. I think like
Okay, so vibe.
the normies don't know about vibe coding yet.
But do you think normies listen to us? No.
Yeah, of course. Half of
No,
our followers are normies. What are you talking about?
bro, your followers, maybe my followers are like not normies, they are like the best.
No, half of Indrashakar follows you. I don't think what gets more normie than that.
Okay, so vibe coding essentially means that you may or may not know how to code, but you completely give yourself up and just follow the
The
cursor agent
yeah,
or some sort of AI.
Bolt and like whatever like these like applications you use to like build web apps or mobile apps. Like you kind of like tell the agent what you want to build and describe it, and it kind of does it for you, and you kind of just hit like accept code, and it builds out what you want.
Yep. Essentially, you just keep prompting it. Don't look at the code as well. Just keep prompting it until it works. Okay. So Levels, Peter is his name. Peter essentially started vibe coding like a simple game where you can fly a plane. Okay.
Okay,
That's how he started. It
yeah,
created like a 300 line JavaScript file which would run in your browser and you could just fly a plane around it. Then because he is very big on building in public, he obviously tweeted it out, and then people were like, "Hey, it's nice, it's cool if you just deploy it. I can play it as well." So he deployed it on fly.pieter.com. So his name
okay.
is Peter, but it's Pieter, Peter.com. So yeah, he deployed it on over there, and everybody started playing. Started getting analytics that people are playing. So the next thing he did was he made this game a multiplayer game, and he again did that via vibe coding.
Wow, you vibe coded a multiplayer experience.
So the way he did was
Yeah,
there's something called web sockets,
yep.
essentially that allow you to keep a connection open to the server, and the server can keep sending data whenever it wants. Okay.
So like one, I can be connected to the server, and you can be connected to the server, and 100 other people can be connected to the server. So every time I move, you also know I've moved, and vice
Correct.
versa.
So the technically how it works is when I move, I send a message to the server that I am moving and I've
Yeah,
moved to this point, and then server then sends that message to everyone who's connected.
yeah, yeah.
That
So
that
when
person.
you move my computer because of that data getting passed into mine, I know that you moved.
Yes, and so now I can see where Anmol's plane is and where my plane is, and then he started building on top of these things. Okay, so once he had a multiplayer game ready, he started building a shooting algorithm, not algorithm, but a shooting feature where you can shoot other planes or you can shoot
Okay,
balloons. He added more things to the map, and eventually uh, he added an F-16 fighter jet
okay,
as a playable plane, and he charged like $30 or something, some one-time cost,
yeah,
not small amount, but like a $30 range amount.
yeah, yeah,
uh, and he also started selling advertisement space, so one company bought like for $1,000. So
yeah.
yeah, he did that, and suddenly he got a retweet from Elon Musk saying that AI is going to help more people create games in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, and obviously then it blew up, and at one point there were 28,000 people playing together. That's
Wow. Concurrently,
concurrently, yes,
that's wow. So they
because it's
have like at
browser.
least like they had like at least like 500,000 people playing this game
No,
over
he
some
shared the
duration.
numbers. I think not half a million, 100K total maybe shared,
Okay,
played.
okay,
But at one point, the peak point essentially was
yeah,
like 28,000 people. Servers, I think, crashed, or I don't know if it crashed or not. But essentially, yeah,
yeah,
it became like a big deal for a brief
yeah, yeah,
moment of
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
He shared
Do you
that
know? Do you know what infrastructure they were using to like?
he's a big Cloudflare.
Okay, cool. Because one of our portfolio companies is called PartyKit that got acquired by Cloudflare that
Yeah,
did build infrastructure for multiplayer experiences.
probably he's
So,
using
so
Python.
you're
But
welcome, Peter.
he shared that he wrote the WebSockets in Python.
Okay,
So
okay.
I don't know.
Maybe,
But
maybe,
but
maybe not.
scaling it to 28,000 people is not an easy thing. So pretty sure he
Yeah.
must be using something else. So but yeah, he vibe coded his way up to like $1,500 or so in like in a week or so. Granted, he has like a lot of followers and all those
Well,
things.
like, didn't he do the same thing with his photo AI product, or was that was not vibe coded? That was just
That was not vibe
actual code.
coded.
Okay,
Yeah, he coded it by hand, like artisanal coding, not vibe
artisanal.
coding. So yeah, he artisanal coded his other companies, but this specific game
Yeah,
was vibe coded. He was like, I've never been a game developer. I don't know how to do that. So maybe this is a thing I can do
yeah,
with the vibe coding agents that we have,
yeah.
and it worked. And he made like $1,500 or so up till the point where I saw. Then he started obviously making more money. I did not realize. I haven't tracked essentially after that, but yeah, till the point I was tracking, like he made like $1,000 from advertisement, and then he sold like 15 or so F-16s.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so
what's the tea? Like, did people like? Is it just are we just talking about it because it's cool, or did something happen after Elon tweeted about it and it blew up or something?
no, I think it was just, so yeah, people like there was a big fight, obviously, and not fight, but just ilafda.
But on what the fact that he built a game by vibe coding, people
Yeah,
were mad about that.
people were mad because he was charging some $30 that for an F-16. They're like, it's too much. So that was one thing
But
that people
then
were.
don't pay if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, see, people on internet can be mad about anything, but yeah,
But it's
essentially they
like
were
this
mad
like
about,
yeah,
for example, this amount, $30.
yeah,
Secondly, they were mad about the fact that he used AI to build it. They're like, this is not yours now. Like you sort of plagiarize the game or whatever. They were also mad about one more thing.
the
Yeah, I
ad
think
space.
the ad space, I think they were fine with it. Like that did
Okay,
not come up. There were other things to be mad about.
yeah, yeah,
But essentially, some people claimed that this is very inspiring. That
yeah,
you don't know how to make a game, and you were able to make a game in $1,500 in a
yeah,
week's worth of time. Granted, you have distribution, you
yeah,
have marketing sorted, but even without that, there you could essentially anybody could vibe code their way to a game that can generate some money,
yeah.
right?
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it, but just people
Yeah,
were like, no, you cannot do that. And essentially people, most of the world is low on agency, and this was a
yeah,
very
yeah.
high agency thing to do. Is he like, he thought about it, he built it, he made money.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, I think we're getting to a point where like anyone who has an idea, an agency can bring those things to life.
Yes,
And it's all about can you build the distribution to get people to use these things?
correct.
There's no longer like a gatekeeping of who can build stuff. Like almost anyone can build anything.
Yes.
It's more just like who can actually make money out of this or like get it in front of people and into their hands.
Yep, that's essentially it. And people were mad about it. They were like, no, we can't do this. And then in response, there were like four or five people who were like, okay, fine, let me try.
Yeah.
And all of them started getting like traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think I saw at least three of them make like $100 or so.
Oh
So
wow. Have you have you vibe coded any games or side projects yet?
not game specifically. I tried vibe coding one tycoon game,
Okay.
uh, but I myself was not clear on what does that game need to have. So I was building a gym management simulator slash tycoon game.
Okay.
So essentially you open a gym, you hire
Yeah.
gym trainers, you have some constraints, you have money, you can buy equipment, you can
Yeah. Yeah.
spend on marketing. That kind of a game I was trying to build. I had built some things out of it. So yeah, you can spend money to for marketing, you can spend money to improve your trainers, you get your trainers, but I was not completely clear on the whole concept. So whenever I ended up vibe coding with the with the editor, I just made it bad. I just kept
Yeah.
making it bad, and I forgot to use Git. Like that was a big problem because that was the first time I was vibe coding. Before that, I was always, oh, okay, this is the diff. Oh, okay, this is the diff. I was reading the code.
Yeah.
This time I was not reading the code, and it would just mess it up, and then
Yeah.
you
No,
can't even.
it's so hard to like get to a previous state when you're vibe coding and like I've gone through this so many times like when I'm just like hacking on something on cursor when I'm like, oh, I've gone down a path that is no longer good and I need to like get back to where I was 30 minutes ago and it's like almost impossible to like recover that state.
Yeah, so that was essentially the whole e-lafda around Peter Levels. But I saw one guy saying that I cannot afford a cursor subscription, and to that I was like, okay, let's say you can't.
Yeah.
There's still Tray.ai, TRAE,
Okay,
uh,
let's not. We're not sponsoring Chinese backed vibe
Singapore,
coding
Singapore,
China.
and China. Yeah, but there's
All your
Tray.ai.
vibe coding into Tray, which is built by ByteDance, is going to go support the CCP and help them build future products. So
Bro, if you are buying so like anything, I think 50% of that would be going to CCP, China.
fair enough. Touche.
But yeah,
But
essentially,
you can use Cursor for free. You don't have to pay for it.
I think there's a
There's a
time
limitation to
free
where
trial.
you can get to. You can use Cursor for free.
Really? I have.
Yeah.
Why am I paying then?
Well, I think there's like a lot more you get when you pay for it, but like a certain amount of um, prompts are completely free.
Interesting. Yeah, it says free
Yeah.
includes pro trial for 2 weeks
Yeah.
and 2000 completions. So I'm guessing after the pro trial, it has something 2000 completions, I guess.
Yeah. So you get 2,000 completions a week
That's
and
good.
like 50 like long requests where like you can ask it to do like more or like kind of run a prompt against your entire code base.
Nice.
So you can vibe code a small game just on the free version as well.
I mean, for sure, you can
Yeah.
vibe code a
Yeah.
small game on even V0 Bolt, not V0,
Yeah.
sorry, Bolt, Lovable.
Bold. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, there's also like companies now that are built entirely around vibe coding games.
Games
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah. So there's a company, I think it might have been an recent one that's called Rosebud, where you can like tell a game you want it to create, and it's just like a prompt to game directly. And I assume it's like trained on like arcade games and like very simple games. And there's actually two companies in India also working on it. So it's not just like a US thing.
Damn. So I think it's a logical next step from text to video.
Yeah.
In for the scenario where you want to watch a video that is not available, let's say you just want to watch some sort of video, you would put it prompt and then it will generate a video. I think similarly goes to
Yeah, I think
gaming.
we're going into like more and more interactive forms of outputs from like generative AI, and like that's why we had like first just text outputs, and then we moved into images, and then we moved into music, and then videos, and now kind of fully built out products in games. And maybe one day, like soon, I'm sure we're gonna have like an AI movie or like an AI playable immersive game or something like that.
I think game is already there,
Well,
fly.peter.com. But
yeah, yeah. No, I meant like I think like a triple A game, like think like Call of Duty Modern Warfare built entirely by AI.
I think you need a lot of context window. But yeah, definitely, why not? So another thing that happened this last week essentially was I started getting traffic from ChatGPT. So I have
Wow.
a site
Yeah.
shobhitic.com, where I write my blogs and whatnot. Essentially, I was checking the analytics and I saw that I got traffic. I'm getting like a one person a day from ChatGPT, and I was wondering what happened. So I looked into it, and turns out like LLM engine optimization is already a thing, and it's so primitive right now. Think of search engines back in 1995.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they would just crawl the web. Then when you search, they would just do an exact match. So you can just theoretically stuff your web page with like random keywords that are probably not even related to you, but they will end up showing up based on whatever weird primitive algorithm that is, and you can game that. And people had gamed it a lot before Google showed up with like its page rank. So LLM engine optimization, or whatever you want to call it, is actually at that stage. It's pretty primitive right now, and one of the biggest things that people have done to sort of get ranked in perplexity or OpenAI or whatever is obviously Google ranking is taken into consideration, but the amount of content you have is also something that they take into consideration, because
Interesting.
essentially they are training on that,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and it sort of goes that way. And so there's like a small mini gold rush going on right now for companies to sort of get themselves ranked in LLMs.
But I guess with LLMs having like a knowledge cutoff, is that like you have, how does that work? Because I assume that only things you've done in the past are going to get indexed and is what the LLMs are trained on. So is there something like where you can do something now that would help you, or is it kind of just everything like September 2023 and before?
You're forgetting that there are new models launching every day,
Okay, fair.
right? Secondly, a lot of these models, for example, there's search in Google, in OpenAI now.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well,
Perplexity works on search.
okay, so it's not kind of like, oh, like GPT-4 is necessarily indexed on new stuff, but Perplexity with its search capabilities or ChatGPT with its search capabilities is highlighting and indexing a lot of the web, and you can kind of get a lot of traffic through that.
Yeah, the only problem right now I think I see is the algorithms are like a black box. Like nobody knows what's going on. So all of things that I found on the internet was essentially people trying stuff and then figuring out, okay, this works, this doesn't work. That is like the state of the art right now. But yeah, essentially LLM engine optimization is something that you can probably leverage right now to get some sort of distribution for yourself, organic distribution, just
Yeah.
like we used to have with SEO, or we
But
still with SEO, but
yeah,
yeah, it went down.
I guess hear me out. Do you think it makes sense to tap into this? Because I would assume when an LLM is indexing or like kind of highlighting your site or content, it's already kind of summarizing what's on your site within the chat window and context. It's kind of like not really driving intent to your website in the same way SEO does. Does that make sense or
So the thing is with SEO, there's a lot of low intent traffic as well that just
yeah,
is there to get the answer.
yeah,
Okay, that gets flushed out.
yeah,
Secondly, people ask LLMs for product recommendation.
yep,
Ideally you want to sort of get in that specific place where people are asking for product recommendation and you show up, because then essentially you will make some sort of business out of that or be able to leverage it. But otherwise, yeah, otherwise it's not, for any sort of low intent things they are not going to be there. For high intent things they're anyway looking for it, so
yeah.
if they get a link from an LLM that they trust, they will obviously click on it.
Interesting. Do you think like that's kind of maybe one way that shopping for certain things might evolve? Like I no longer go to Amazon. I ask ChatGPT, should I buy this water bottle or that water bottle?
Even not that, so you will say tell ChatGPT this is my requirements for a water bottle.
Yeah,
And then ChatGPT ideally should figure out this is what the best water bottle is as per your requirements.
fair enough. Okay, interesting.
Now it just needs to have an opinion itself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like you are trusting the LLM's taste, so to
Yeah,
speak.
correct. Yeah, that's the problem with agents, right? Like you have to
Yeah,
trust their taste.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I'd probably trust Claude over ChatGPT then.
Yeah, Claude is obviously, it's more tech oriented, more niche though. Have you seen the graph, the interest graph between Claude
Yeah,
and
yeah.
ChatGPT?
I think I saw this like a couple of months ago, where like it's like ChatGPT is like way up there, and
Yeah,
Claude
it's
is like not on
there's
the
no
map.
there's no competition at all.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting that like Meta with all its distribution still kind of seems not in the picture here. Or like even Google with all its distribution, like they were still like significantly lower still, right?
Yep.
I mean, like you can in the US you can now like call ChatGPT and you can text ChatGPT on WhatsApp as well. So I think now they're just kind of like can take distribution to all sorts of mediums, given
But
like the brand presence of.
do you call ChatGPT? So I
I
use
do
this
not. I
you
do
use
not.
this specific mode.
I do not use voice mode. But now you there's a phone number for ChatGPT in the US. Yeah.
1-800, I'm assuming.
Yeah. 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 They're like 1-800 call ChatGPT or ask ChatGPT or something like that.
Interesting.
Did you see? I mean, even Perplexity has the. Did you see Perplexity's Ask Perplexity Twitter handle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the
So,
Virat Kohli versus
okay, you
Sachin
have to
Tendulkar
explain
question?
what is Ask Perplexity.
Okay, so Ask Perplexity is a Twitter handle that Perplexity launched. Perplexity is like a search engine built on top of AIs. Is that the best way to describe it?
Yeah, I think as I said, we don't have normie audience.
Yeah, okay. But no, we do have normie audience. But Perplexity is a search engine built on AI, is my normie way of saying it. And the founders are super active on Twitter. They launched a Twitter handle which you can tag and ask a question. And instead of like using Perplexity on perplexity.com, it'll kind of give you the output as a tweet. Like the founder, Arvind, who is Indian, asked, kind of showed it off and like asked something around like, oh, is Sachin a better cricketer or Tendulkar a better cricketer? Oh no, or Kohli a better cricketer? And Perplexity,
So the question was, who is the GOAT, Sachin or
oh,
Kohli?
is that the
Pick
question?
one, don't be subjective, and then tagged Ask Perplexity. And Perplexity answers, Sachin Tendulkar is the greatest cricketer overall, given his unmatched longevity, consistency, and record-breaking achievements across formats. While Virat Kohli is arguably the best ODI player of all time and excels across formats, Sachin's legacy as the most complete batter remains unparalleled.
Do you agree with that take?
I don't. Let's not go there.
Okay, this is not a cricket podcast, so we will not get into a contentious territory. Okay, so from the AI world, let's kind of come back to home a bit. And as the resident restaurant launcher of Indranagar, please tell us about all these new places you've been going and talking about. And I've seen like all your tweets are going viral on all these red-looking small shops. Like what's kind of what why is everyone opening up like red color like quick serve restaurants in Bangalore? What's happening?
So, firstly, nobody calls them quick serve restaurants. Okay, it's
Okay,
just
but that's what the VCs call them.
yeah,
That's
it, it's VC speak for I don't know what.
like pop-ups. They're not like pop-ups. They're like just like mini
Yeah, they're,
shops or like restaurants. Like I don't know what's the.
they're an establishment.
That's too vague. That's like food.
Yeah, so essentially, the couple of places that have recently opened up, which I tweeted about, and they they were anyway going viral, and I guess I just happened to tweet about them. One is Lick, which is Lavon Ice Cream Kitchen. Um,
Oh, that's what it stands for.
yeah, you did not know
Oh
that.
no, I thought it was just like an ice cream shop named Lick makes sense because you lick ice cream.
Wait, are you saying that because of the podcast, or you did not know that?
No, I did not know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Lavon, by the way,
Yeah.
has so in that specific 200-meter radius, Lavon has three places. One is Lavon, which is a bakery.
Yep.
The other is Lick, I just told you, Lavon Ice Cream Kitchen, and the third is Kopitiam La, which is like a
That's
Malaysian.
also by Levon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
So
this
the
is like all on like kind of around 12th Main 100 foot road.
Yeah, 12th main double road, not 100
Yeah.
feet. But yeah, so if this
Interesting.
is Lavon, so this is Lick, and this is Kopitiamla. So it's like very close by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lavon Ice Cream Kitchen essentially opened up and they were in instant hit. I'm guessing they had like they because it was by Lavon and Kopitiam was also a hit. Lavon in itself is a hit. I think they just had the brand power to
Well,
sort of.
do you want to hear my reverse take or my alternative take on why it went viral?
First, what is the reason why it went? Okay,
Okay.
let's
Yeah.
start.
Why did it go viral? Why did it go viral
So
according to you?
yeah, my the reason why I think it went viral is like it had a nice fresco. It looks cool. Those things are there. It is at the right spot, like just between the like on the double road, just very close to 12th Main Road, which is like a big deal in Indranagar. And yeah, and then they had the right people sort of come in and post about it on Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah. I saw like Kunal Shah posted about it with the cred event, right?
Yeah, Kunal Shah also posted about it, but he posted it after it sort of had already
Okay. Okay. So
gone.
it's already cool. It was already cool by the time Cred found it.
Correct. So it was already cool by the time Kunal Shah posted about it. But yeah, I mean that. Plus, also Manan putting scenes. They had like so they have their own premium access card.
That's
Uh,
okay. Yeah.
so if you had to get into the line, you need to have that card as well. So there were like a bunch of things with which it worked, and the ice cream is also good enough, I would say. So that
And I
and
heard you said it's good enough. It's not like it's the best ice cream I had, or
I just had one scoop of one of the flavors. So I it's very hard for me to comment right now.
but
Uh,
okay. Would you go back to Lick, or are we going to Corner House again, like we usually do?
I'll tell you what you're asking me is essentially would you go back to McDonald's or would you go to Truffles? So in this
No.
scenario, McDonald's is Corner House because Corner House felt like a lot more sugary versus let's say Lick. Lick was
Okay.
more
Okay.
subtle. I
Okay.
don't know. I'm not a food guy. I love eating,
For
but I
for
can't.
someone who tweets a lot about restaurants, you are definitely a food guy. I think it's unfair to say you're not.
I'm a restaurant location guy.
Okay. Okay. I see. I see. But you're saying it's kind of more like it's not as sweet, and maybe like the focus is on the flavors.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I had a smoked chocolate, some flavor. Okay.
Okay.
Never ever thought about a flavor like that. But yeah, I mean, it was good. Good. I will definitely go back. Also because they are my customers.
Okay.
but
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
but yeah, so Lake opened. There was a big line. Then
Yeah.
another
Okay.
place.
Well, let me tell you why I think Lick went viral.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I think unfortunately Bangalore has a dearth of good spots to eat and consume food and drinks. So every time something looks remotely interesting, there's too many people rushing to it, and as a result, it goes viral. Like pizza for peas went viral. Arguably, like good pizza, like is it worth standing 30 minutes in line for? No. Kopatam La went viral. Like yeah, it's good, but I think you guys need more good places to eat, and then things will not go as viral as they have.
That's definitely a spicy take.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. I think there are enough places. Just that
For
theory.
the population size in Indranagar, there's not enough places.
Yeah. So that's what essentially my theory is that the number of people that are there that are making enough money and have enough free time on their hands is too high,
Yeah,
and they for that specific population there's not a lot of places. On top of that, these things look good on Instagram and Twitter, and I mean, so they already
and
have an advantage,
yeah, yeah,
and then they capitalize on that
yeah,
in a nice way.
yeah, and then like it truly is so easy to kind of go viral amongst the like Indranagar crowd because you get Shobhit to tweet about it, and then Nana will tweet about it, and then Manan will tweet about it, and then 10, 12 people will all tweet about it, and all the social circles will overlap and show up to the same place.
But then
No?
I have a different this thing over here as well because like not all places have gone viral and a lot of places close. Like the churn is insanely high.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to run a restaurant.
it's very hard to run a restaurant and going viral is also pretty hard.
Yeah.
So
But I guess like I think it's harder to like sustain the virality as opposed to like
correct.
go viral.
But I'm just trying to think if there was
Yeah.
a place which went viral and then shut shop. So Rameshwaram went viral. It did
Yeah.
not shut shop. It shifted because of whatever reasons, right? Pizza 4 piece. It's pretty good. Still going. Still full. Lick. I saw yesterday was also like there was a big line. Lavon, for example, Kopitiam La still full. So the places that actually go viral they have two or three things working for them
Yeah.
versus but if you just open a new place it will be full, it will
Yeah.
not be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
viral.
But I guess you can also kind of like manufacture that virality in some sense. For example, like Naru is like by constricting like only 16 people going to eat there every night, you're able to like make that hype around it last so much
Lot.
longer. Even though like it's not like in the most walkable area, it's kind of like at that conservatory area, and it's like you're not gonna like stumble upon it. You're gonna like seek that place out.
Maybe that's the way they want it to be as well, right?
Yeah,
I mean, s- yeah, it's like luxury. You don't want everyone to have it, and
yeah,
because it's like a slot thing over here, you have to have sort of
yeah,
you by definition you'll have like new customers every day. Might
yeah,
as well have them very low number.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like just a way of like artificially constricting your supply to build up the demand or sustain the demand over a much longer period of time, which is, I guess, harder to do in like a very large restaurant. Like you guys went to Bastion for the Cred event. Like that restaurant is massive in Bangalore. I think they'll have a very hard time keeping that full and hip and popular.
Another place that I went to was Alien Kind,
Yes.
and
Well, I saw your tweet and I've been seeing pictures and what is alien kind?
so this place looks like this, from far. Essentially, it catches your eye. It's like hot red color,
Yeah.
and it had juices and stuff. I had one of the cloudy, outy, any
Okay.
something, some juice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
not juice. He told me it's three layers of something, something, some. Tasted good. Okay,
Tasted
uh,
good. Got it.
yeah. So I went there. I had that, and the reason I went there was because it just it was like bright red in a neighborhood which is like a dull
Yeah.
yellow
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
You see colors like these. That is what it is surrounded by,
No, and
and
it's kind of
red
like
color that sort of pops out.
bang on like 100 foot road, right? I know the corner at which is at, and like a friend was telling me about it last week that like they serve juice, and I was
Yep,
just like, I was a little shocked because I'm like,
juice.
yeah, why are they selling juice
Yeah.
and burgers? It was a very intriguing concept.
Yeah, burgers was fine, but juice, because the last juice shop I remember
Yeah.
was 6 years ago
Okay.
uh, on 12th Main Road, and it was replaced by Bangalore Thindies, which is right
Okay.
up third wave.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, that was another place that I apparently it had also gone viral, but just not I did not know that. So there were like a bunch of people over there, and I think it's open till late night as well. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there are a couple of things that you probably can do, especially in and around Indranagar, like opening late, for example,
Yeah.
being
Yeah. Yeah.
open late.
But I guess like I assume like if you wanted to open like a small ice cream shop or kind of like late night snack, or like we have this like kind of these small pop up like hot dog stands all across like America, like between like at night when you're like going home from the bars home to like pick something up on the way instead of like ordering in. So it makes sense for like these small pop up things to be all over Bangalore. Maybe you have a night out and you're walking back to your house in Indranagar, grab a small bite to eat, or you're just hanging post work with friends and
Yeah,
grabbing a snack.
that's why like all of these places go big,
Yeah,
because like the places like it has a lot of offices around. It becomes like a central point for people to meet and stuff. There are like a bunch of cart ice cream stalls
yeah, yeah.
and chap stalls and dosa stalls and all those things have sort of popped up here. I was talking to a pani puri guy 3 days ago, and I asked him. So he basically stands on like the footpath. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
do you have a rent? Do you pay to the guy behind? And he's like, no, no, no. I'm like, so
You
does
pay
police?
to the cop, no?
Yeah, he pays to the cop.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how much does it? Like, how much does the cop take? He's like, yeah, he takes some money every day. And I was like, okay, what
Okay.
is the number? What do you think is the number?
Okay, I know a similar number of like a really popular market in Delhi. So I assume in Bangalore, let's say for a day like 100 rupees.
Interesting. I thought somewhere around 500. The
Yeah.
answer is close to 30.
Okay, yeah. Because in Delhi, like there's a market where the number is like 10,000 rupees a month.
Hmm.
So like 300 rupees a day. So I assume Bangalore cheaper. So
Yeah,
I mean, round up closer to 100, but wow, that's quite cheap. So like, or whatever, you pay 30 rupees a day
yeah,
so that
1,000
they,
actually for the month,
yeah,
and nobody bothers him, and he sells 50% of the days. In the sense, he finishes like
yeah,
goes out of stock 50% of the days. Essentially, he's making somewhere around 85 to 90K at least
a
a month.
month. That's
Yeah,
not bad.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I think
So
like the main problem with these businesses are that they
illegal.
are, yeah. So you can't really legally build a business like this. You
Yeah,
can legally like rent like a small kiosk
correct.
and run a business that way. But do you remember there used to be this coffee cart on wheels in Indranagar called Tribe?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they also kind of, as like they started to do well and scale, they realized that I think their operation was illegal. So now they have like a physical presence in Indranagar, and they no
Oh,
longer operate out of the car.
good idea. I've seen them.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a chat with a couple of people. So two of my friends have now stores on 12th Main. Uh,
Okay.
so very close to domination now. But I had a chat with them and the brokers that basically they went with.
Yeah.
So to understand what's going on, what's the rates and all. So turns out if you have a place on 12th Main on the ground floor, the rents would be about four times of that of first or second or third floor.
Interesting.
Obviously, like more walk-ins and all.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, and so at first, second, third floor, you can get probably a big, good enough space for about 2.5 lakhs, 3 lakhs a month. But on the ground floor, like a similar space would be 8 to 9 to 10 lakhs a month. To get a very small QSR kind of a thing, where you can probably, let's say, open a coffee shop or
yeah,
something like that, which would be what, 200 square feet, or
yeah.
250.
And like I think like you can start off like really small. Like I don't know if you've seen Kink in Indranagar, but that's like really tiny. Maybe like 150 square feet. You can even go that small.
Yeah, so 150 square feet to 200 square feet. I think the rents for that would come to somewhere around 25 to 30K, maybe more.
Yeah,
That's the lower bound I'm talking about. Then you have the revenue potential of 2 to 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, and you have overheads, you have cost of goods, and all those included. You can probably make like a cafe or a restaurant with like net margins of 10 to 15% there,
yeah, yeah,
uh, which is like fairly standard for any sort of place.
yeah. And
In
I think what the important thing here is like a lot of these places what they do is instead of like picking 12th Main or 100 Foot Road, you'll pick like a side road or like one off the main so that you still get a lot of footfall, but it's not like the prime location. So your rent kind of becomes a little more affordable.
correct. So yeah, these are the things probably you can do. We
Do you think someone like so like essentially if someone wants to run like a small coffee shop like business idea like okay maybe not coffee shop because maybe we have a little too many coffee shops in Bangalore but like maybe even not boba anymore because boba is kind of overplayed but
there's only one place that I know which sells boba, which is Bubbit,
there's only one boba place in all of Indranagar.
that I know of.
Okay, there's no boba bhai in Indranagar yet.
There is no what?
Boba bhai.
Boba Bhai, I don't. Yeah, Boba Bhai is not in Indranagar, but it is close to Indranagar. It's on the HAL road somewhere.
Okay, okay, okay. But okay, so essentially, like, pick up interesting new snack food or beverage concept, maybe put in like 10, 15 lakhs, including first couple of months of rent and security deposit on a location and equipment and hiring like one or two people. You can, it's not impossible to start a business like this if you wanted to.
Obviously, it's not impossible. It's just, I think the problem with beverages that I feel talking to people who are selling beverages are that the competition is too high because these businesses are sort of very easy to operate, very easy to
Yeah,
get started with. They
yeah,
don't require a lot of space, as we just talked about.
yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, because of these things, they become very easy to obviously get started as well. But if you are an ace operator, you you can probably try your hands. You can learn a bunch of things.
Do you think
You
it's like easier to kind of do like food then? Because like you can have like beverages, there's still like fewer categories where you do chai or you do coffee or you do boba or juice, and like the number of unique things you can kind of do in beverages maybe has a fairly low tail, versus in food you can do dosa place, Chinese Indian place, a vada pav place, a samosa place, a pani puri, whatever, or kind of like a chaat place, and the options are kind of more endless, and like you can kind of cater to what kind of market you're in and build something based on that.
Yeah, I think we should get somebody from the industry,
Okay.
grill them. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Um, but yeah, I think food again. Yeah, I don't know. I speaking with zero experience. I think food.
We are vibe discussing businesses.
Yeah, so a friend of mine runs like a food place. He's like, if you don't have, let's say, alcohol, it's very hard to sort of turn a profit on a regular basis because
On a, and this is on like a sit down restaurant though.
sit down restaurant. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm thinking that you have like 100 square foot pop up where people come and have chart and leave.
you can create your own job for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And by job, I mean you can make like 1 to 2 lakhs a month operating that place with your with and hiring some people to work with you as well and paying the rents and whatnot. Can you build like a business which generates like a crore worth of profit a year? That's something that is very.
That's harder.
So that's what that my friend that I was talking about. He what he told was, you can basically get like some level of profitability, but anything beyond that, anything with high margins, then you have to go to sort of alcohol, which requires a very difficult to obtain license in India. Essentially, yeah, if you want to sort of build in food,
Go talk to real people and don't listen to this podcast, because everything we have suggested here is based on very limited research from people we know.
but there's another friend of mine. His name is Vardhaman. You also know him, Bonomi
Yeah, yeah,
Cap.
yeah. Yeah.
He essentially is building the same thing out as a QSR chain where you can have, I think he said 250 square feet of
Yep.
places needed.
I think
And
he also kind of opens roughly like 150 to 250 kind of square feet locations.
yes, and he sells, I think he sells burgers, he sells sandwiches, coffee, obviously, and obviously he gets orders from like walk-ins and online as well.
Yeah. But
Uh,
what's really interesting about his business is like the coffee is like very affordable. Like same with like Alien Kind. It's like priced at like 79 and 99 rupees. So it's like kind of, it's not expensive to just kind of like you're walking around, you're like, oh, I'm thirsty. Might as well stop by for like a coffee or a juice or a snack to eat with it.
for comparison, Araku would be 450,
No, no. I think like 300.
350 for sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. At least like two and a half to three times.
Yeah, I know. Third wave is like 280 or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool. Then is that a
Okay.
time?
I think that is our time for.
Do we want to let people know that they should subscribe to us?
Oh, we should let people know.
Or do
Okay.
you think like, people who have already reached the end point have
I don't
already
think. Okay, if you reach this point, comment coffee in the chat
yeah.
and like, subscribe, and share.
Ugh, cringe. Cool, man.
Coffee.
That's our time.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Bye.